before you on a matter of great subtlety. It's come to my attention that my wife, the Honorable Lady Marguerite has grown greatly in the knowledge and the skill and science of development. I believe it's time for her to be initiated into the mysteries of the Order of the Laurel.
This is no simple matter. These are great mysteries that you speak about today, Your Excellency.
And dangerous ones as well. Perhaps we should call for our order to discuss this matter.
The Crown calls forward the Order of the Laurel.
Good companions, Master Baron has told us that his apprentice has gained mastery in the arts of alchemy. You have spoken to this candidate and you have investigated their skills and talents. Is this what you have found to be true?
Aye. I was unaware that we had an alchemist in our midst. Perhaps we should find more about the candidate and about her character. And is there anyone who can explain this science to us?
Indeed, Your Majesties. I am Nicola de Bracton. I am of the tradition of the great Albert the Great, one of the first alchemists who wrote of the properties of minerals and stones. I am no master of this art. However, I know some of its secrets. Alchemy is the search for knowledge, for the philosopher's stone that transmutes base metals into gold and gives life eternal. Alchemists are those who ever seek to learn the secrets of the universe, but also to apply them to the service of humanity. It is necessary for the artificer of this science to be most subtle of wit and to know and to understand the nature of metals and their generations, infirmities and imperfections in their minerals before she can come into this art. Let no workman come to search out this art, being loaded with gross and dull wit, or being sparing or covetous in its expenses, nor of any double or variable mind, ever over happy or capacious, but the son of learning imbued with a subtle and politic wit, sufficiently rich, bountiful, helpful, firm and constant in her purpose, patient, gentle, long-suffering, and temperate.
Their Majesties call before them the Honorable Lady Marguerite Grey.
Please come before us. We are speaking of your art and would hear more about it.
We shall let the masters and mistresses of this Order of the Laurel tell of the elements of special importance to Marguerite and reveal their symbolism. This book shall reveal the mysteries. Who would speak to the element of lead?
I will speak to the element of lead. Lead is the ruler of prime matter and of the dark. It resists corrosion, but it easily transmutes the color pigments of reds, yellow, and white that enlightens your colors. It symbolizes transformation.
Who would speak to the element of earth?
I will speak to the element of earth. Earth comes with ochres, siennas, and umbers, workhorses of the pigment palette. Earth grounds us, reminds us of death and of rebirth.
Who would speak to the element of iron?
I will speak to iron. The galls of the oak tree contribute iron to ink. Iron rules physical strength and represents the need to temper our primal urges. At the same time, we embrace embrace the fire within.
Who would speak to the elements of arsenic and sulfur?
I will so speak. Arsenic and sulfur, together they are known as orpiment and produce a glowing gold color upon the page. Sulfur and arsenic combine to induce enlightenment and philosophical direction.
Who would speak to the element of lapis lazuli?
I will so speak. Lapis is the color of the sky. It is the color of the virgin, and it is more costly than gold. It reminds us of those things that are beyond us and inspires hope for the future.
Who would speak to the element of copper?
I would. Copper, when exposed to vinegar, the element of copper transmutes in a brilliant green known as verdigris. Copper is sacred to Venus. It embodies the virtues of love, balance, and artistic creativity.
Who would speak to the element of gold?
I would speak for gold. Gold represents perfection in all matter, on any level, and it also represents humankind's desire to obtain perfection of mind and of spirit.
Let the artificers of alchemy know this, that the forms of metals cannot be transmuted unless they be reduced to their first matter, and then they are transmuted into another form than that which they had before. And that is because of the corruption of one thing is the generation of another thing, as well as in artificial things as in natural things. In this, art imitates nature, and in certain things it corrects and exalts it as nature is helped by the industry of the physician. We would hear the words of the alchemy of peerage. Who would speak to the symbol of the crucible?
I will. I am the Honorable Lady Elise de Poitiers, member of the Order of the Crucible. The crucible is the essential container without which alchemy cannot take place, where all is prepared and all is transformed, and crucibles are of great and secret strength. I have had the honor to know Marguerite for many years, and in that time I have seen her strive to perfect her art, sometimes delighting in a new challenge, sometimes despairing, but always working through that struggle to forge something greater. And through that striving, I have seen her gain strength, and through our collaboration, I have seen her lend that strength to others. She has placed herself in the crucible of her art, and it has transformed her into a stronger woman, one unique au monde.
Who would speak to the symbol of aqua vitae, the water of life?
I am Dame Helen Grey, a member of the Order of the Laurel. Aqua vitae is a potent liquid that is distilled from wine and many other ingredients. It can allow things to dissolve and to become part of the solution. For a candidate to dissolve and become part of our order, it takes aqua vitae in the form of commitment. For Marguerite, this is a lifetime commitment to art. From the first box of markers to art school, her career, and finally with us, making scrolls. It takes aqua vitae in the form of curiosity to want to learn more about where the materials of her art came from. It takes aqua vitae in the form of researching to find out how to extract those pigments from different materials. It takes aqua vitae in the form of experimenting to find out if it works. Most of all, it takes aqua vitae in the form of kindness and willingness to teach everyone a knowledge of the things that you've gained. We've watched you drink your fill of the water of life. Now dissolve into us, my friend.
Who would speak to the quality of maceration?
I will speak on maceration. I am Dame Asta Gorm's daughter, member of the Order of the Laurel, for illumination. Maceration in alchemy is a suspension and softening of prepared matter in a solvent, perhaps water or spirits of wine. Thus, the suspended material is retained for a period of weeks, perhaps an alchemical month of 40 days, in a warm environment, agitated regularly to allow the goodness to resolve itself. Your many tireless experiments studied and transmitted with honesty, with light of truth, have led you to this day. The elements of your character, suspended in time, and the order and their majesty's sober reflection have led you to this. If we have not your gifts of color and light, the buckthorn berries plucked from the tree, a saffron-dyed handkerchief, a lapis lake, how shall our deeds be illuminated? Where is the red of our celebrations, the blue of our horizons? And wherewithal shall our memory be ever green?
Who would speak to the quality of resolve?
I am Boudica, Baroness of the Court of Ealdormere. For an ingredient to become something greater than it is, it must dissolve itself and become part of something else. When we learn how to dissolve one thing into another, we begin to find out secrets and the ways that things work. If we, as alchemists, are to become greater alchemists, we must ourselves dissolve into the work. The enthusiasm that we bring to this dissolution is what we can show, what we can teach to others, what we can share with all we meet.
We shall speak to the process of annealing.
I would speak to the process of annealing. I am Sir Baldric, member of the Order of Chivalry. Your Majesties and Excellencies, and some Masters and Marguerite, I'm honored to speak on you this day. I can speak of your strength or your loyalty and your times that you've spent ensuring your Majesties could properly recognize people as you are now being recognized. But instead I will speak of your transformation from student to teacher. Annealing is the process of metal being heated to the point where it is soft enough to cut and mold. You are now at that state where the annealing process can take place. You can soften and then cut exactly what you need. As a student, you learn. As a teacher now, it is far more important to ensure that you're teaching softly so that you may mold the student into what is necessary. Your Majesties, the lasting gift you give to this kingdom are the peers you make. You serve your kingdom well tonight.
Who shall speak to the process of amalgamation?
I shall speak to the process of amalgamation, where two things become one. I am Mistress Kerstigan of the Pelican, and I am most honored to speak for my friend today. Today I would like to speak of her passion, for without two things, you often can't have passion for one thing. I speak of the time when I first said, hey, would you like to do a scroll? And she said, totally. I said, dude, that's awesome. And she said, yeah, totally, 100%. And as my time in Signet, there came times when I needed a special scroll, a request for something or for something very remarkable. And she would take two things, her friends to help her make the scroll, and the amazing amount of research she did about the person to make their scroll, thus making one beautifully treasured object to hang on someone's wall, to honor them. I speak to how now you are one, and once you were two, and how sometimes when you take one away, you are less, but sometimes when you take one away, you become more. And as you grow in strength, and as you grow in experience, you will continue to become more. I am honored that you asked me to speak for you today. You have done a right thing for the kingdom, and I thank you.
Who shall speak to the process of precipitation?
My name is Giovanni. I'm a master of the Order of Defense. I will speak to precipitation. In precipitation, we have particulates coalescing out of something. And we've had a great deal of words this evening speaking about dissolving into. But there is more than that. We have, as a kingdom, a wonderful union, a wonderful harmony. But in that harmony, we have individuals who precipitate out, who shine among us. Future Mistress Marguerite is one of those people. I'm glad to be able to speak for her.
And finally, who shall speak to the essence?
I am Dr. Stanbaugh, and I am pleased, so pleased to speak for you. This is the essence. Your Majesties, you are so lucky. Before you is the essence of the world. She has learned so much. Sit with her and speak about how do you create this thing that's presented in front of me that gives me such fear to touch with ink. She explains that she has learned more about the recipient than I've ever known. She has done research, not only in what minerals will give her what color, but what facet of them shines most brightly in our kingdom. We are so lucky, and you are so honored to be able to create this beautiful thing.
Majesties, you have heard our words.
We have heard much knowledge today.
So much knowledge.
We are pleased with the words that our order has brought before us, and we are minded to acknowledge the mastery that you, Marguerite, have attained over the alchemical characters described to us today.
Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Should you wish to proceed, a process of separation must occur.
Marguerite, we are well pleased. We would ask that you swear your oath to us, and that you swear it upon the Book of Alchemy that has been presented before us.
Do you swear that you shall be good and true to the mystery of the Order of the Laurel within Ealdormere? Do you swear to keep good counsel with the Order and Crown? Do you swear to strive to uphold the name of the mystery in all places by your good and loyal conduct and skill in your craft?
I will.
Do you swear to teach those who come to you all the skills of alchemy that come to your mind freely and without regard for favor?
I will.
Do you swear to refrain from illicitly transmuting base metals to gold? The indentures of your apprentices and to bring them into your craft at the end of their terms? Do you swear not to leave the mystery, but uphold it according to your estate?
We have witnessed your words today, and we are grateful for the oath that you are willing to swear to us as rulers of the kingdom.
Before we admit you into the order of the law, there would be arraignments.
Is there a medallion?
It's coming,
Yes, Your Majesty, there's a medallion. This medallion was given to me from Master Roderick from Callister upon my elevation. It's a relic of Callister, and I ask, do you wear it? Until he's burned somewhere.
Is there a ring?
There is.
Majesties, it is our tradition in Ealdormere to typically give a cloak, but Marguerite expressed that she would rather have an embroidered one.
Marguerite, we have heard that you have swore to uphold. We would ask that you also give us your oath of fealty as a companion of our Order of the Laurel. We hear your words and return these words to you. We shall honor your deeds, reward fealty with love, service with honor, and oath-breaking with justice. Dame Marguerite, thank you for joining our Order of the Laurel. Arise and greet your new father.
To remember this day, we shall hear the words that have been written for you.
We can be greeting our order.
We can greet our order and...
From the almighty and true King, William, and Domhnall, who sits by his side to rule over all the lands of Ealdormere, greetings. It has come to pass that our good and noble Marguerite Grey, who faithfully and sincerely has sought among men, both past and present, some convenient portion of true knowledge and understanding of the laws and ordinances established in nature, over the making of paints and potions for the scribal arts, through the mystical art of alchemy, by which knowledge, wisdom, power, and goodness, being made manifest, she does abundantly instruct, furnish, and allure all who would desire to learn. It is our wish to shout her praises, to render unto her most hearty thanks, to advance the true honor, and to win unto her name glory among all people forever. And whereas it hath pleased us to deliver unto the foresaid Marguerite Grey, according to the laws and policies of the society and kingdom, and in accordance with the properties of such their functions and offices, by our power, wisdom, and goodness as assigned to us, to appoint her to a position of responsibility, and name her to the Order of the Laurel. And now we do grant also unto our dearly beloved Dame Marguerite this blessing, and bestow upon her by letters patent arms to enjoy always, so that all may know her worth and value to the society, the Kingdom of Ealdormere, and the scribal and mystical arts. Done and sealed by our hands on this 19th day of March, on the Society of 50, at the competition for the arts and sciences in our canton of Caldrific, in the barony of Skraeling-Althing. Calligraphy by Baroness Ekaterina Volkova, illumination by Baroness Ekaterina Volkova, and Baroness Boudica Ravenhair.
Now, please. Greet you all.